Welcome back. Well, you're watching Politics Today on Channels Television, and we're looking at the Abia State Governorship conundrum. Well, we are all aware that the new twists and interpretations trail the issuance of the Certificate of Return to Uche Oga by the Independent National Electoral Commission yesterday. But Governor Ikpeazu says he's not going to take it lying low. He filed for an injunction, and an Osisioma High Court in Abia State granted that injunction, putting a stay on the Chief Judge of the state and any other judge for that matter from swearing in Uche Oga, as the case is, as the governor of the state. Governor Ikpeazu says he will defend himself with everything that he has, and no doubt about it, he remains the governor. Well, let's listen to what Governor Ikpeazu had to say on the matter.
And what is on trial is our democracy. It is not about me as a person, but about the will of the people of Abia State. And why it is very difficult for Abia people to accept is that everybody knows very well that I've been working for government in this environment. I did not come from elsewhere. And my last duty post, which was Abia, was such a job that everybody saw, even on the streets while I was doing it. And so for somebody to come and say that I had problems with my tax.
Governor Ikpeazu of Abia State, well, the embattled governor says he is the governor. And well, we'll get some perspectives into the matter. I'm now being joined on the program by a lawyer and the Commissioner for Lands in Abia State, Uche Ihediwa. Mr. Ihediwa, very many thanks for joining us on the program.
Thank you.
Well, Governor Ikpeazu says he's always been he's always worked for the government and he pays his taxes. Is he then shifting blame now to the Federal Inland Revenue Service on this matter?
No, far from it. The position is that just like you and me, we all have certificates issued to us, even even let's say the basic school certificate. The point in that case is that he pays his taxes as a payee, that is a pay as you go, as you earn employee. And then when you want to contest election, you are required by your party, not the Constitution, because the requirement for qualification under Section 177 of the Constitution does not include tax clearance. Your party requires you to show evidence that you've been paying taxes. Now, Governor Ikpeazu approaches the taxman, which in this case is the Board of Internal Revenue, and say, please, I have been a pay-as-you-earn, a taxpayer. Can you give me my tax receipts? And the taxman issues tax receipts to him. I pray, if there is any error, if there is anything that has to do with that tax paper, is it the person who was issued, who got it from the taxman, or the person who issued it that should be called to question? Now, interestingly, in this case, the taxman said, I issued these tax receipts to Governor Ikpeazu. They are genuine. They are not fake. Interestingly, the court, that is Honorable Justice Abang, veered off and said, look, I'm not looking at whether or not these certificates are forged, because he cannot be saying that in the face of a counter affidavit by the taxman, which says that these tax papers are genuine. He now says, no, I am looking at whether these tax papers contain things that are false on the face of it. With the greatest respect, if there is anything, any information that is false on that paper, you trace it to the maker of that paper, in which case we are talking about the Board of Inland Revenue. Let me give you an instance. In 2011, he is said to have paid a tax of 166,000, and in 2012 he paid a tax of about 48,000. To the judge, that amounted to a false statement, because you cannot be paying a higher tax in 1 year than you're paying in the next year. But I'm sure the learned trial judge does not know that there was a change in the tax regime in 2012, which made it that if you earn less than 3 million naira a year, your tax was supposed to be reduced.
All right,
So the point that
just
is
a
made
moment,
here is
Mr. Ihediwa.
tax clearance is not. Yes.
Just a moment, Mr. Ihediwa. Let's get down to the case on ground proper. This lawsuit on tax evasion had been ongoing for some time. Was the governor unaware of this case? And if he was indeed aware, why was the case treated with levity?
Well, I wouldn't say it was treated with levity.
Because it seems as if he's been taken by surprise.
Soon after the... no, he was not. He was not. He was all well aware. It started immediately after the primaries, traveled to the Supreme Court and came back for hearing. So the point is, he wasn't taken by surprise because all along he was confident and has remained confident that judiciary would not, do something that is, with due respect, laughable. So I must tell you that the surprise came when we had the pronouncements by the learned trial judge.
Okay, yes, indeed.
So it was well defended by seasoned senior advocates.
Okay, it seems as if there was a delay in the filing of appeal. Why was there some sort of delay for a couple of days? Why wasn't the appeal filed immediately to counter that judgment?
Emma, that is again not correct. The judgment was finished. There were two cases. The Justice Abang finished reading those judgments by 4 p.m. on the 27th. And on the 28th, at about 10, 11 a.m., 3 appeals had been lodged against those judgments. And then motions for stay of executions were also filed, served on INEC, served on all the other parties in the matter, and a copy was lodged. So the appeal was lodged in less than 15 hours from the time he finished reading the judgment. But that, in my view, cannot be filing an appeal late.
But the Independent National Electoral Commission says it was indeed it received the notice of appeal, but it did not get a stay of execution notice.